YouTube back in the garage again. This is part 5 in a Honda Grom motor rebuild. I actually got the Grom up and back and running. I ended up using the OEM head and got it running the way it should. There's a very slight tick. I think I need to adjust the exhaust valve just a little bit more. It seems to be a little bit on the loose side compared to when I used the feeler gauge on the intake side. It did have a little bit of drag on it with the feeler gauge, but it's an awkward position, so it's kind of really hard to tell. So I might just give that a little bit, make that a little bit tighter, and hopefully that little bit of a tick goes away. Yeah, I wasn't able to use the race head because I bent a valve, so off camera, I didn't record it. I put the OEM head back on, and it works perfectly fine. If you're interested to see what happened, the catastrophic failure I had, check out part 4 of the Honda Grom rebuild, and it will explain it all. But yeah, right now I'm going to be putting the cheapest battery I possibly could find. It was on eBay for $23, called Grom Battery Extreme Sports to the last volt. It was 23 bucks off of eBay. I don't have to add any fluid or anything, and it claims that it's already pre-charged, ready to rock and roll out of the box. We'll see. It probably might not even work. It might only last a month. Who knows? It's eBay. But yeah, let's just jump right into it. Put this battery in, and I'll start Grom up so you guys can hear how it's running, and hear that little bit of a tick, and I'll do that valve adjustment, then see if I can get that tick to go away. Got the new battery installed. I even hooked up my cell phone charger. Missing a piece to it. Whichever. Turn the ignition. We got power. That's a good sign. We'll crank it up and see if this battery actually has a good charge or not. Then I'll show you the little bit of a tick it has. So it looks like that battery is working pretty good. It has plenty of oomph. If you really listen, it has a very, very slight tick, and it sounds like it's coming from the exhaust valve. It's very, very slight, almost at the point where I probably only need to readjust the valve, but I'm still going to do it. But yeah, put the seat back on, shut it down, try to adjust that valve a little bit more. Alright, there's plenty of videos out there on how to adjust your valves on a Honda Grom, so I am not going to go over a detailed instruction on how to do it. I'm just going to do it. Like I said, I'm trying to get away with a little bit of doing
doing how-to videos. I have the wrong side down wrench. Just because it's time consuming and makes it a pain in the ass to edit. So I'm just going to do it, and hopefully the ticking goes away. Alright, so basically what I'm doing is I'm using .007 for exhaust side, and I'm feeling for a very slight drag. It has this very slight drag, but still on a little bit of a loose side, so I'm going to tighten it up a little bit more. After I tighten up the lock nut with a 9mm little wrench, check it again. Sometimes it loosens up a little bit, then you have to redo it a little bit. Alright, so yeah, I have a little bit of a drag on the .007 feeler gauge for the exhaust side. I'm going to put the cover back on, start it up, and see if the ticking went away. All my covers are back on. I readjusted the exhaust valve a little bit tighter than it was before. We'll see if that little bit of ticking went away. Sounds like that ticking went away. It's actually running really good. As you can see, when I first started, it doesn't like to idle at first. It's because I have a very rough tune done to it. Once it gets a little temperature in it, it idles fine though. But yeah, looks like she's ready to go. Alright guys, just a little recap of what all's been done, and this is going to be the final build video for the Honda Grom engine rebuild, part 5. Basically I put a new crank in it, new bearings, still running the Coso 170mm jug and piston, and I have a stock head on it, 2-valve head. I'm going to be eventually putting on a ported and polished larger valve head once I get the new valves in, and I just readjusted the exhaust side, and it sounds very, very smooth. When I first originally started, before I did this rebuild, I had this clicking sound that I could not get rid of. It wasn't valves or anything like that. That's why another reason why I changed out the crank with the rod, and it seemed to cure it. Another thing, I had to put in a new cam gear selecting gear cam selector inside the motor, because I snapped off bolt that goes onto the cam gear selecting plate is snapped off and I couldn't get it out, so I had to pull the motor out and do a whole rebuild. So it was a perfect time to change out bearings and stuff like that, and it worked out great. The thing sounds like it's running like it's just about brand new, tip top. She needs a good detail. She doesn't look like it in this the video here, but she's dirty. I need to give her a good detail. Hopefully I'll be doing some videos of actually going out riding. Things are starting to cool down. It's starting to fall, so hopefully I can get a little bit more riding in. I didn't get to ride this bike at all this year, just because it's been broken and down. So now I finally got back up and running good. I can enjoy it. Over the winter, I will be putting the head on and doing some other modifications. My goal after all those modifications is hit somewhere around 20 horsepower. It's currently, when I got it tuned with the big bore kit and this head, was currently making somewhere around 16 horsepower, which is a huge difference compared to stock. I think stock is like 8.3 or almost 9. So it's a hell of a difference. It's a wheeling machine. The sprockets on it right now is set up for wheelies. I don't remember the tooth count on them, but I will be changing that also, so I get more top speed. The friends I ride with, they don't have any gearing changing, so when I max out, they're blowing by me. So this doesn't make it fun at all. So I'm going to change the gearing, and with the more horsepower, I shouldn't have any problems doing wheelies or anything like that. I think wheelies stock, so it just makes it easier when you have the gearing done, and the big bore kit just really wheelies easy. So it worked out great. I'm just psyched that it's running nice and smooth and no foreign noises anymore. Just a little bit of a downside that I wasn't able to put that race head on right away. Kind of a little bit of downer, but at the same time, if I did that, I would have to put it back on a dyno, and that's just more money I have to spend. I'm not yet ready to spend, so it is what it is. Alright YouTube, that's going to finish up this video of part 5 of the Honda Grom engine rebuild. Thankfully it's all back together and it's running nice and smooth now. Unfortunately, like I said before, I put the stock head on and retimed everything and got it up and running how it should be, and I torqued down the stator basket the way it was, nice and tight, so I know it's not going to do that again and shear off another keyway from the crank. So if you find this video entertaining or helpful in any way, please like and subscribe. It gives me more and more motivation to put out YouTube videos. Till next time, take it easy, have a good day.